Hey everybody, and welcome to Facebook, I suppose you could say. Today I'm joined by Taylor, and we're going to be
Hello.
discussing, yeah, we're going to be discussing a little bit about our E3 plans for the upcoming week, or until Tuesday/Wednesday for Australian and American people. So we've got quite a bit lined up for the upcoming E3 stuff, which starts tomorrow. For those who don't know, and Taylor, you can just start off by saying what we've got planned for our podcast, if you want to.
Yeah, so this is the hypest weekend of the year for gamers, right? It's the
Yep,
weekend of E3, and Culture
yep.
of Gaming here. We're going to have you guys totally covered with everything that we can without actually being there, okay? And I think we're going to do a really great job. So what's going to happen is tomorrow, June 9th, is when it starts for all us American folk here. And
Yeah.
the only conference scheduled for tomorrow is EA, and they're starting at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 a.m. Australian time, the subsequent day after, which
Yep.
would be June 10th for Australia. But anyway, and
Yeah,
so
apparently.
yeah, the EA conference is starting at 11 a.m. But what COG is going to do is we're going to have about a 30-minute like podcast pre-show with some guests. So far, we have myself and Anthony here, as well as Aiden has signed up. If you watch the Power Up podcast, Aiden is definitely a familiar face to you guys, and so he's going to be with us for the pre-show, and then once the conference starts, we will be live streaming the conference, and we will have ourselves viewing it with you guys at the same time you guys are seeing it as well. And so you can watch the conference and hear us live react to everything that's going on and everything, hear our thoughts as soon as it happens. Okay? Twitch was nice enough to give us a co-stream of the E3. So that's great.
Ooh,
Yeah.
awesome.
And so anyway, our guests for the EA conference are, well, it's going to be myself and Anthony again. And we're going to get joined by John and Aiden and Andrew for the actual
Got
conference.
That's
So,
five people.
yeah.
That's one more than what we usually have for the podcast, which is awesome.
Yeah. All right. And then the same thing kind of applies throughout the weekend. We're going to have a variety of different guests throughout the weekend for each conference. 30 minutes before each conference starts. We're going to have a little bit of a pre-show, and it's just going to be a bunch of like discussion, speculation, what we really want to see, what we'll likely see, etc., etc. Any sort of like thoughts, and then and then we'll of course live cover the conference. And
Yep.
after the conference, we're going to have a little bit of a post-show. We're going to like wrap up, process everything that we saw and whatnot after every conference. So yeah,
Awesome.
that,
Lots of podcasting hours is going to be like around 20 hours or so. I think I worked it out to be around that.
yeah,
So lots of content for everybody to tune into. Is that all we've got lined up for podcast stuff?
yes. And then
Yes.
actually there is one more thing I should probably mention. So June 12th, Nintendo, 8:30 in the morning,
Yep.
Pacific Standard Time,
Which
is
is
that's the
like 2 a.m. Australian time.
yeah, feels bad. Um,
Yep.
That's the last conference of the weekend. That's their little like digital event, or I guess they're calling it direct this year, but whatever. And anyway,
Yep.
at the end of Nintendo, we're going to have, of course, the end of Nintendo post show, as we've done, and we're going to have the grand wrap up, which is we're going to process everything from the weekend and yeah, conclude everything, and that will conclude our
Awesome.
coverage.
Awesome. Well, no sleep for me this upcoming week, so that's going to be awesome.
Yay!
Um, we're also going to be doing a lot of written content as well. John, one of our reviewers, is going to be not the John on the podcast, but another John. Is going to be sorting out all of our written stuff. So for our conferences, John Powell is going to be covering our Microsoft content. So he's just going to be writing up a heap of news stories. And so basically for each conference, we're going to be doing like the peak news stories for each event, and then after that event, we're going to be doing like a recap article, I suppose you could say, where people, like the writer just expresses their individual thoughts on the event, what they wanted to see, what they didn't want to see, and what wasn't actually included in the event. So for Microsoft, we have John Powell covering that one. For Bethesda, we have Rob Coffin as well. Awesome last name, that one. For Square Enix, we have Mike Soul, who's been on the show a couple of times. And also for Ubisoft, we have Mike Soul as well. For Sony, we have John Powell again. And for Nintendo, we have John Powell. For the reaction pieces, we have for Microsoft, Mike Soul is going to be covering them. For Sony, Aidan Simmons is going to be covering that one. And also he's going to be covering Nintendo as well. We have posted a couple of different individual stories in our E3 section, which you can head on over and check out now before the event if you want to. But apart from that, that's about all we've got lined up for E3 this year. We've basically doubled all of our content from last year. We've got a lot more podcast stuff happening and a lot more Twitch stuff, which is awesome to see as well. So yeah, that's about all we've got.
And next year, we're going to try and make it there ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. We've got to fly over to America one of these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't believe I've forgotten anything. Oh, also, I'll just mention this as well. Halfway through just after our Microsoft conference, I was going to say content.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We also have the Retro Rumble podcast, which is going to be dropping as well after that. They're going to be live streaming that one, which is going to have all the retro guys who are into that kind of stuff on it. So it's going to be awesome to see. That'll go for about an hour and a half-ish. It's their first one. So hopefully you guys can head on over and check that out.
And then also Saturday, after a couple hours after the EA conference, it looks like, the Power Up podcast will be at its regularly scheduled time. And it's going to be more E3 stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So even more podcasting stuff for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all we've got for E3. For those who have been watching, thanks for watching. Hopefully that's been a little bit more of an enlightenment about what we're going to be covering. We're also going to be chucking up an article as well about what we're going to be covering with written and video as well for those who missed this. But for those who did watch, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on our podcasts and on our Twitch content when we do them for E3.
Hope to see you guys this weekend.
Yeah, come and join us. Totally. It's going to be a fun experience.